y'all are seeing us or not seeing us. Oh, aha. They're probably hearing us but not seeing us.
Okay, let's talk racing.
Oh gosh.
Where's the chat room on here, Roger?
Yeah, you should see a chat room icon across the top there.
I just see let's talk racing.
Are you on the website or are you on the
No.
Facebook?
Facebook.
Here, Roger.
Click on that. Click on chat. Trying to get video.
Okay, Roger's on, Karen's on.
Okay, what do we need to do here?
Is that you?
That's me.
All right. You're still on from last week then. Now do the Let's Talk Racing. All right.
I can't see it. Oh.
It'll come up. There you go.
Need some Go Juice for the can.
Okay, click the, see where it says created by, down. There you go, up.
Bam.
Just a hair more.
All right, I'd like to welcome everybody to Let's Talk Racing. We're having lots of fun trying to get all this stuff rolling.
Now hit
Our
where it says
broadband
chat.
provided in the area has been going
See
up
up
and
top
down.
of
So if
now
you
to
lose
the-
us, don't
there
worry.
you
We're
go.
going to be having the show
There you
saved
Okay.
and be able to watch it at a later date. You all hooked up now?
Yes, and
You're
she's
in the
in
chat
the
rooms?
chat. Yes,
All
we're in
right.
the chat.
Holy. Hey, Caitlin.
Hi.
Oh, your turn. I'm all tired now.
So, Caitlin, tell us about the weekend. You had a great weekend in Phoenix. You get your feet wet in the truck series. Tell us everything about it, girl.
Okay, well, we got there, I guess it was Thursday was our first day for testing, and so we got there for practice, and everything went really well. It was the first practice session for me. It was a little bit rocky, just trying to get back in the swing of things, being on the track with trucks. I mean, I think it was like 14 months since I had been in a car with other cars on the track, so it was a little bit hairy for me that first practice. But after that, we picked it up and we improved all of our practice sessions and just kind of got comfortable in the truck. There was only 36 trucks, so everyone was in the show. So we were really mostly focused on our race setup rather than our qualifying setup. And then we almost made it a qualifying run at the end, but we just ran out of time there. So, but like I said, there were 36 trucks, so everyone was in the show, so it was not a big deal. And then on Friday, we got there and we made our qualifying run, and I think I qualified 33rd. But we were faster than we had practiced, so that was good. We kind of just worked on making strides all day. And then for the race, we started at 33rd and then moved up a little bit right off the start. We just kind of rode there for a little while, and then the truck got more competitive as we went on, and I got to make some competitive passes and really work on my pit stops, and so that was pretty neat. And then unfortunately, at the end, our end result wasn't so great. I got up a little bit high in turn 3 to try to make a run on the truck in front of me, but I got too far into the marbles, and so I just lost control there. Just not enough grip. So, but I think we finished 30th in the overall standings, so it was okay. Not the greatest outing, but I think that we learned a lot, and we really took a lot away from the weekend, team chemistry and all of that.
Well, good. I mean, the good part is you got to be able to get the seat time. You got to be able to practice getting some competitive passes in, and basically getting in the laps. Hey, if your name had been Danica Patrick, you'd have the camera on you the whole time. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you got in the marbles.
Yeah, yeah.
A recurring occurrence.
But
exactly.
Michael Waltrip gave me a lot of press, which I was glad. That always helps for sponsors and stuff, so that was good too.
Cool.
You mentioned that the truck improved. I believe it was a combination of you improving the truck, right?
Yeah, I mean, John Chapman was my crew chief, and we both kind of worked. I worked a little bit on my feedback and getting comfortable on the track, and then he made some small adjustments to the car to get me more comfortable. So it's kind of just a combination. We worked together to get our final product.
Cool.
So, what's next, girl? What's coming up?
Well, I'm looking to run Phoenix in the spring. That's nothing's in writing yet or confirmed, but that's my goal. I'd like to be able to run that show again before they repave it. That way I have a little bit of an idea what the track's going to be like when I go there, since I raced there this past weekend, and I think it'd be a good show for us to make.
Absolutely. I think that's a wise decision. And it'll be here before you know it, too. So how's your sponsorship searches coming for 2011?
I'm working on that right now. So I don't have a sponsor yet for that race or any races in 2011 just yet. So I'm still working on that, and that's going to be the hard part over the off season for me, is to get that sponsorship lined up. But I think that being on Let's Talk Racing and has really given me a lot more, and being exposed through the NASCAR.com stuff, I think that it'll be easier for me to find sponsorship now that I've been in a truck recently.
Anything we can do here, Caitlin, we will gladly try to help you as best we can.
Hey, Caitlin,
Yeah.
I don't know if you're looking at the internet show or not, but we have Richard Petty with us here, and he can fly out and help you get that deal going for you.
Sure.
What do you think?
Yeah, I'm all up for it.
Have you ever met Charles West?
No, I don't. I've never met him, but I've heard about him.
Yeah, well, he's sitting right here with us, and it's pretty uncanny. I think I'm sitting right beside Richard Petty, actually.
There you go.
That's pretty cool.
It's all good. So, yeah, but we're really pulling for you. We're very excited about what you're doing. You definitely have the talent, and it's just about now putting the laps down, perseverance, tenacity, the whole get-go, and sooner or later you'll be right there pulling into victory lane.
And patience.
Yeah.
Well,
Patience.
the big question too, of course, is were the sponsors happy with everything? The airtime, hopefully you got down there, help from Michael and everything else.
Yeah, I mean, everyone was pretty happy, obviously the end result wasn't great, but I think they were still happy with the exposure. The oil medics were very happy, I know. Community Healthcare Service was very happy. So I think just that aspect of it also will help out.
Did you get to talk with Jennifer Joe Cobb any while you were there?
I talked to her a little bit in the driver's meeting, but we didn't get a whole lot of time.
She has
A little bit of advice before the race, and so it was good.
before the race. She goes into her little routine, and once she's in it, boy, you don't want to mess with her, because she goes up and is on top of the pit box, and she'll be listening to her iPod and tries to get a mindset. And she does not want to be disturbed at all.
Gets in her zone.
She got to get her zone in.
I think every driver does something to that degree. Not, obviously it differs, but.
Well, are there any rituals that you do before a race?
Nothing like too far extending out of the race. Once I get in the truck, though, I don't really like to have anybody else, except like a crew chief, Johnny, or somebody giving me that sort of instruction. But I really just kind of take a few deep breaths and kind of try to relax before the race, and then that helps me to stay focused.
Now, when you're running your race, are you talkative on the radio, or are you one of those that's really quiet and trying to?
I'm really quiet. I'm not. We didn't have capabilities to talk back in the midget, so that's been new for me. So I have to remind myself to talk every once in a while.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's always fun. Some of the guys I spot for, they're the quiet type. They want to know only what's going on. What the best way to get around somebody, or the best way to get back in the line. Other than that, they don't want to hear nothing. You can't even joke with some of the guys. But what really gets fun is when you get to the point where you relax when you're driving, and it starts to come natural to you to where you can be able to talk and drive, and it's like talking on the cell phone while you're driving, being able to drive and talk on the radio and get plans made ahead of time and be able to get really in the zone there.
Yeah, definitely. I worked on my spotter. Ron helped me a lot with that, and just to kind of feel more comfortable on the radio, and so that was a good experience also. He was a really great spotter.
Cool. Well, if you ever need some help, you can give me a shout.
Okay, sure will.
So, let's see. Y'all already talked about what else is coming up for you. Are you going to go to the Homestead race?
No, unfortunately, that's a little far for me. I have finals coming up, so I decided I would take this weekend to study.
Aha.
Yeah, so I think your parents would be very proud of you to do that. I think it's a wise decision.
They always say have a backup plan,
That's right.
Yeah, I've had to miss so much school this past couple of weeks for this race, so I decided that I need to buckle down a little bit. I think I have like 4 classes left before finals, so.
How much longer you got till you finish out your school?
I have a year and a half, 3 semesters.
There you go. The end of that tunnel is coming close.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
So what else? What did you put when you were out there? I don't know if you got a chance to talk with many of the other drivers or interface with them at all. Who were some of your positive people you talked to, and some that you weren't really too impressed with?
Uh-oh.
Put you on the spot time. But this is just your opinion of what you saw at the time. Does not necessarily reflect how they really are. How's that?
Okay.
And nobody will ever hear this but us.
Well, I didn't really get an opportunity to talk to too many people. I stayed mostly with Johnny. We didn't have a whole lot of help with the truck, so like I had to be there to push it out for qualifying, and I had to be there to push it through tech. So I didn't really get a whole lot of chance to really go out and talk to other drivers. I talked to Jennifer before driver introduction when we were backstage, and she gave me some good advice on. She just told me to be patient and that the truck will go through a lot of phases. So I really appreciated that. Being a rookie and only my second race, that really helped out a lot, just to kind of know that the truck is going to go through so many phases, because that was new to me. And then, let's see, I talked with her a little bit. I talked with Tim George Jr., and he was very nice. I didn't really talk to anybody else.
That's a shame.
I know.
Oh, goodness. Do you know Sloan Henderson?
Yes. I know who she is, but I've never met her.
Yeah, we're just going to put out a quick word for her. She was in an accident this afternoon. There was an incident on the interstate, and her Jeep wound up jumping off the side of the road because she had to quickly move to keep from hitting somebody that was coming over into her, and she didn't really have much place to go, so she wound up crashing her Jeep apparently. Suffered some concussion. She had a little bit of memory loss, but apparently things seem to be doing better. I just got off the phone with her dad right before the show to see how she was shaping up, and everything's got a good positive aspect. They're going to be doing some checking on the abdominal area, of course, where the seat belts come across and everything else. You get tossed pretty hard when you go airborne.
That's awful.
You've probably experienced that once or twice in one of your midget cars, right?
In a race car, yeah, but it's a whole different game when you're in a street car.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but I mean, you still know you're going to be sore even though you got good package around you. So they're pretty much upbeat on it, and they do want to thank everybody that's been getting up with them, whether it's been on Facebook or contacting them through other ways, and appreciate all the pairs that are going out to her as well.
Absolutely.
So we've had her on the show a few times, so that's one of the other things. We like to watch out for our own, so to speak.
Cool.
Definitely.
Our big family as well.
So, Caitlin, the next question is Michael going to fly you out to Las Vegas for the big party?
No, no. I did see him today, and he was very upbeat about the race, and he told me just to keep working on it, keep digging, that you're not going to get it overnight. So
It's true.
Tell him you would feel really good if he treated you to a little trip to Vegas or something, you know?
yeah.
Worm your way into that one, you know?
Right.
Hey,
Absolutely.
that'll be a good test for your salesmanship.
Yeah, for your PR skills.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's right.
Anything else you got for us, young lady?
I think that's all that I have.
Well, it's quite a bit actually.
No.
You know, you had a big week. You had a big week. You got a lot going for you. You got a lot to look forward to over the winter. And
Go join into. Do you do iRacing at all?
No, I don't. I've never done iRacing. I'd like to, but I've never gotten an opportunity to do that so far.
Try to get up with some of the guys there at Michael's place and go try it out with them, or just go ahead and sign up, get yourself a steering wheel, some pedals, and go do it. From what I've talked to with everybody that runs it, it's almost like being there with the real thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I might have to ask for that for Christmas.
Absolutely, that's it. Your wish list is a $2.5 million sponsor and iRacer.
Not too big.
No, I think that's doable for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, Santa. It's true.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Santa.
Sponsored by Santa.
You have Santa on the side of the car.
Hey, anybody got a contact for Santa?
I'm working on it. My daughter wants it.
Me.
Number
Me.
1 Main Street, North Pole.
Right. We need to talk to that marketing group up there that handles his PR. See if we can't get him on the side of this race car. Cool.
All right, Caitlin. Well, let's go ahead and let you go have fun tonight, and we will catch up with you next week.
Good luck on your studies.
Just to let you know, December the 8th, we are going to be broadcasting from the NASCAR Sports Grill.
Okay.
When is that, Roger?
December
Wednesday,
8th.
December the 8th. It's a Wednesday. So we're going to start putting that out to everybody. So I don't know if we'll have the ability to do call-in. I'll have to work some more on this doggone internet phone and see how that works and all that good stuff. And I'll keep up with you on that as well. And if you're in the area, you can come out yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
And keep her in mind about the charity go-kart race too.
I think we already got her on line for
cool.
the charity go-kart
Right.
race. Isn't that right, Caitlin?
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Michael's flying her in for that, I think.
That's right. Land that little Learjet right out here at Langley. No
Yeah,
problem.
Candace and her and a
Yeah.
couple of other people coming from
Yeah.
down that way share a ride up.
Katie
Hey.
Hager. Right.
Yep, Dan's supposed to shoot up here for it too.
Cool.
So we'll have a truck driver, a nationwide driver, and whatever else we can squeeze
That's
in.
it. That's right.
You know, the only thing I think Robert Richardson would love to do it, except he lives in Texas.
He may come up for this though. Robert
Yeah.
may,
Never
Robert,
know.
he's
He runs
he's
a
a
little
man about
cup spirit
town.
part-time and runs nationwide.
Yeah,
Coleman Presley would be a good guy to snag
Coleman
too.
would be good.
Anyway, we'll let you go,
Okay.
Caitlin. We're all blue sky in here. It's sort of an easy night here.
Okay.
We got several people here in house, so we didn't worry about too many call-ins. So you have a good night, and we will talk to you next week.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Do your sponsor thing. We always want you to do that.
Okay. Well, I'd like to thank the Oil Medics and Community Healthcare Service for coming on board this past race, and hopefully we can get some more good sponsors for 2011. And there's also a recap video on my Facebook page of the weekend. So if you missed
great.
any of the colors, you can take a look at that.
Oh, cool. I'll have to watch that now. All right. Well, you have a good night, and we will talk to you next time.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good luck.
She's a good girl.
Yeah.
She's good. She's going to be fine.
Yeah, we got her started, and she's slowly getting better each week that she calls in.
Right. Right.
The whole idea for her is to bring up, she's got a 15-minute segment from 7 to 7:15, what news she wants to bring.
Mm-hmm.
So, what did everybody think about last weekend's race?
All right.
I loved it.
It was a great race, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a good
It was
race.
drama filled.
It's better than an off weekend where no race.
That's true.
That was a good race.
That's how I look at it.
The Denny was not the happiest person in the
No,
world.
he threw a water bottle and got upset, and I guess got people wet, and he was disappointed with his top 10 finish.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Well, I mean, you think about it. All right, you've been leading most. You led most laps.
Yep.
Okay, you're out there. You've got probably just as good, if not better, gas mileage than most of the cars out there. Okay. Your crew chief decides to bring you in to top your gas off.
That's the relationship they have to iron out. Who's
You
going to
know.
make the call? Yeah, he can get mad, but that's the way
Yeah.
it goes. I mean, he lost some points, but he's still in first.
Could have
Yeah.
been
It's
worse.
going to be
But-
more exciting for the
But
fans.
But
I
see,
Could have
now
been
here's-
better. Could have been worse.
Here's
It
the
was
little
what it
roll
was.
around.
Right.
It's always going to come. Conspiracy type thing.
No.
If he loses 16 points in this last race,
It is what it is.
he is not going to win the championship.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
there's the 2011.
I know, but then he's going to be. He will. The driver is going to think back and say, if we hadn't done that,
Well, who got docked the 150 points? If they said, oh, we could have, if we didn't get docked 150 points,
oh yeah,
we would be up there. So you can always say, well, if we didn't, but
There's
it
the-
doesn't matter.
coulda, woulda, shoulda type stuff. But,
I mean,
But he's
but I'm
got
just saying that's gonna be in his mind.
yeah.
Denny is not. Let's see how I can say this. He is very excitable. Let's put it that way.
He wears his feelings on his shoulders.
Well,
on
so
his
does,
sleeves.
so does Kyle Busch.
So does
and,
Kyle Busch.
I mean, until they get, I don't want to say they're immature, but until they mature a little bit more,
Yeah,
then it'll improve.
yeah. Because well, I mean, both of them have those issues to deal with.
And that'll come with age
Yeah.
and time.
Yeah.
They'll be able to deal with stuff like that.
The only problem is they're impatient to get to that.
Well,
So
I
it's
understand.
sort of sucks
Tony
both
Tony
ways.
Stewart was the exact same way when he was racing for Gibb early on in his career.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And Joe Gibb took him aside and said, "This is how you're going to have to act. This is how you're going to be." Because sponsors don't want to see you, going
Throwing
up
more
there
balls,
and
right.
getting all upset.
I had a little speech talk to with Tony one time, and
I mean, yeah,
Right.
fans might like it at first, but what about the
Yeah.
sponsors?
well, see that's the thing.
I am sure Dana Hammer.
It's a
wins
double-edged sword.
Right.
They
I'm
they
fairly
want the
certain he's
show.
gonna
They
do it
want
too.
the
I'm pulling for
publicity.
him.
I am too.
It's a fine line to try
I
to
shouldn't
bring
say that really, but
No,
here,
no.
but I am.
No.
confrontation to the window of the TV, and make it not bad enough the sponsors aren't going to like it.
Right.
Because the sponsors know, and they have people out there that rate the show dollar figure for however long you get to see that sponsor's ad on the car. So if you, whether you spun out accidentally and caused a caution, you're getting about $50,000 to $100,000 of airtime just on the spin, at least.
Yeah.
That's right.
One thing I do guarantee, though, if Kyle Busch's gestures or double gestures, however you want to look at it, was not on TV, was not caught on the air, nothing would have been said.
Well, we had this.
It would have been
for it.
left over.
We said this.
Yeah.
Say,
well,
read between the lines.
that's it.
Look here, though. But what a good run for AJ Allmendinger.
Yes, it
There you
was.
go.
Started
I
second.
love AJ
Started
Allmendinger.
second. Had a good finish.
With all the turmoil they got going on,
Yeah.
having to build
Absolutely.
cars in Roush's garage, and
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. I like that.
But,
That boy's
well,
going to make it.
Richard's still trying to get the money
he's
to
working on it.
Yeah.
get it all the way.
I think they will. I think they'll pull that off because there's too many people pulling for Richard. And I know that
Oh, yeah.
NASCAR's behind that,
Yeah.
pushing, pulling, trying to get something cooking.
Ray
chili,
Evernham
so-
said he would help them out as much
Yeah.
as they can.
Even
Right.
though he's a little, still just got a little hold in that company, he's going to try to help
Sure.
Richard. So because for him, that's
Yeah.
a plus thing too.
Sure.
Whether
Yeah.
it's business wise or publicity wise, it's going to be.
Was
a
it
plus.
Richard on 4% or something?
Yep. Richard owns 4. and
4%. That's not much. is it?
It's not much.
Ray
No.
owns, I think, 14 or something
Yeah,
like that. They
14.
were
Yeah,
saying.
14. Yeah.
So, and I don't know if Boston Ventures owns any of Richard Petty Motorsports or
I
not.
don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think
No,
so.
I know in January they went and when the whole deal came out with Gillette, they did own a portion. Now whether they
Right.
sold that out or not,
I don't know.
I don't know. I'd have to
Yeah.
look. I'd have to ask about that. I have no
It's
idea.
really an interesting aspect on how that all came to be, how it played out.
Yeah.
It's going to be. Not only is it stressful, it's heart wrenching.
Yeah.
You know, because you have all these employees there.
Who are they don't know.
They're
no
it's-
idea.
Yeah, so that's the thing about auto racing. What a lot of people don't really understand about the sport, and a lot of sponsors don't parlay that in. This is a job creating
Mm-hmm.
situation here. It's not just about sponsoring a race car or a race team and doing marketing and PR for the company. you're providing jobs.
Yep.
Yeah.
For
You know, it
100, 100 employees, 50
Right.
employees.
Puts money right back into the economy. So it really is a double. It's a double winner for a sponsor to be involved with a team, because you get to market your company, and you also get to provide jobs for people. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah. And yes, Joey did really well too. People in the chat room are saying,
Yes.
what
And
about Joey? Joey did great, Char. Got
Yeah.
you on the air.
Cool beans.
Let's see. Now, Tony did good too. He was
Yeah.
right.
Tony did relatively well.
He finished top 10 too, I believe. About 8th or 9th.
I'd have to look it up.
But
Next time I do this, I'll have my notes with me on everything,
Right.
so I'm more
Exactly.
prepared.
Exactly.
yeah, he did good. Him and Ryan both ran up in the top
Right.
10 most of the day.
Right. Absolutely.
The only thing I think was one of the runs they had to readjust back out because with the conditions getting colder on the track,
Yeah.
with the sunlight disappearing.
Juan Pablo did really well until he ran out of gas. You know, they
Right.
were all, you know,
yeah.
it was all about fuel mileage, and
Yeah.
he didn't get enough in.
And
Everybody did good except Junior.
except for Junior, I know. I know. It's
Well,
crazy.
he still did pretty good. He finished what, top 12?
no,
What was he?
No.
no,
No.
he's back.
What about 15th, I think, or something?
No, Father.
All right, help us out, people.
Junior. I'm thinking Jimmy Johnson. Jesus.
No,
Junior, Junior was
The-
back. Yeah,
the guys in the other Hendrick shop.
yeah. He was.
Right.
He had the
Right,
anchor car
exactly.
Yeah.
in more ways than one.
Right.
Yeah.
And another story in the mix of this is, once again, the 48 crew failed to produce on pit road, pitting for Jeff Gordon.
Yeah,
Once again, and you would think
Jeff
it
Gordon's
would've
crew
worked.
on the Jimmy Johnson's team did great.
Right.
Jimmy's team working on Jeff's.
Same problem, identical.
Yep. I don't know if it's pressure.
You're right.
You know, now we're, you know,
Right.
Now you're definitely under the looking glass. You
Yeah.
got
Right.
your job
Yeah.
wasted on
yeah,
that.
you thought it was
Right.
great when you first had to replace the guys, but now you're
Right.
sitting there, you know, and
Bam.
you know, now what does it feel like?
So
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
that's interesting.
I mean, granted, they should be since they're pitting Jeff. They should say, okay, the pressure's not so bad now. We don't have to perform to make sure that Jimmy's out there and gaining spots, but yet we still need to do good because the eye in the sky, because they do record everything from overhead. If you ever notice the little
Yeah.
extra
Yeah.
poles are
Yeah.
up, there's a little
Yeah.
camera shoots
Right.
down. They record everything.
Yeah.
Right front tire changer, tire carrier.
Yeah.
There's the weak link, and however they have to fix that,
you know,
I
They
don't know.
must have been. Never mind.
I mean, Rusty one year had a good solution for that when his tire carrier and changer messed up. They were gone the next day.
That's right. They were
Yeah.
geo
Unfortunately,
left
they were like, you know, okay, you're going to work for somebody else. Put your resume in another team.
out. Right.
You know, yeah, they mess up once, but this is, you know,
Yeah.
that's what the sport demands, is perfection at times.
Yeah, there's too many people out there that are good enough and looking for a job.
Someone's always going to want to
Yeah.
replace you.
Yeah, you can always think in your head, there's always somebody better than I am, but hopefully they don't be looking at him.
That's true. That's true. It's a tough sport. That's the thing
Yeah.
about it. It's like any other professional sport. It's a performance-driven sport.
Right.
And, you know, we
Yeah.
forget that sometimes. We have so much passion and we enjoy it so much, but it really is about performance, bottom line,
Yep.
any way you look at it. So it's tough.
Whether you're the driver or whether you're
Right.
the guys at the shop, and, you know,
Exactly.
building the motors or chassis or whatever. You know, if you don't do it right, they'll look for somebody who can do it right.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
it a lot better.
Let's see, what else? Who else was it? Biffle was up there pretty good.
For a while.
Yeah.
For a while.
Who else was up there? Was Carl Edwards up?
Carl
Well,
won it.
Well, yeah.
He was up
yeah,
there
he
pretty.
was up there. Yeah, I seem to remember that one. The day before he was up there too.
Right.
He was way overdue, wasn't he?
He was
Yeah,
really
right,
good.
yeah. couple years?
Harvick stayed
Yeah.
up there
2 years.
3 years
close.
almost.
Yeah.
where he
yeah.
needed to be too. He's
Yeah.
Harvick stayed up there.
I
close
would
enough.
love Harvick to pull an Alan Kowicki, and you know,
I know.
that would be good for RCR. Hasn't had a championship in a long time.
Right.
I think it would boost a lot of their morale. They got, you know, Menard coming in
Yeah.
for RCR, so
You know what? And Menard coming in is really a little bit of a coup d'etat for them.
Well, I mean, his dad sponsors the team, so it's going to
Right,
have a lot of money
right.
coming in anyway.
Right. And
Well, it still is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything coming in is good for that. I mean, look at Jeff Gordon. They were worried. I mean, DuPont wasn't going to be the primary sponsor
Right.
anymore.
No.
They're
Jeff.
going to be associates.
And now he's got a charity
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's going to be on the car.
Yeah, what?
A charity, one of the charity
Yeah.
organizations. I don't remember
Yeah.
exactly which one it was.
AARP is going to sponsor the race car through their eradicating hunger.
Okay.
They're spending money to get money is what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're hopefully that by spending this amount of money, it can be a fundraising opportunity.
Yep.
So, and that's how all these charities work anyway. Charities you do have to spend money developing charity money. You know,
Yeah,
it's one of those.
I couldn't tell you how many times I get envelopes sent to me for looking for donations, and granted, they've already put postage on the envelope to send it back to them.
Totally.
And if they ever
totally.
use it, that's money they tossed away.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, let's move down to the nationwide race.
Yeah.
Didn't watch it. I had to work.
Ooh.
Didn't watch it? Yeah. That's
It was a
pretty
good race too. It was a
Yeah,
good race. Yeah. It had some.
Terry stays on top of this.
Oh, I'm on it.
He's been at the house. It's been either on the Speed Channel, and if there's nothing on Speed Channel, it's probably watching NCIS.
That or MSNBC.
There you go.
I love that station.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Now look, that doesn't tell you anything about my politics.
Well,
but I
we
do
won't
like
leave-
listen, but I like some of the personalities on there.
We
because
can
they're
leave
kinda cool.
politics aside. I don't know.
Politicking.
I don't.
It's
they're
not.
very
It's
poli-
not. It's not.
We're
Let's talk
racing, not
politics.
politicking.
Oh,
There
I'm
you go.
neutral politics. I just kind of go.
We might have a sound
go
issue.
with it.
People are saying that there's no sound.
Oh really?
Well,
So I mean, Char's no sound. Rich is no sound. So it's like a silent movie.
one. Did you get that?
Tell Roger.
What say you?
It says tell Roger there's no sound and or no viewing.
All right, now.
And they said they are on the pit wall server,
Okay,
not the other link.
post to them that the broadband company in the area is doing modifications and updating the equipment, and so we may or may not have a good video audio feed,
Yeah.
but we are saving it so that it can be rebroadcast later.
Absolutely.
Making the secretary
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It must have just gone away because it was okay to just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, that's the only thing. That's what the.
I got you now.
There you go.
I got you now. I like
I
that.
got you, babe.
All right. Sonny and
Cool.
Cher.
There we go.
Absolutely. By the way, there's this share is there's this in Memphis where I live in that area. I go down to Bill Street every once in a while, and there's this parking attendant there. Every time I pull in, he goes, "Hey, Cher." It's hilarious. He thinks I'm Cher.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. Well, he doesn't think I'm Cher, but that's how he sees me.
Okay.
Cher. I don't think I look anything like Cher.
No, the hair's not dark
No,
enough.
but that's
not
how
tall
he
enough.
sees me.
But
If
And
you
it's-
get the hair dark,
That
probably,
may be,
yeah.
but it's pretty hilarious. And I was looking like, dude.
so do you fly up here every week?
No,
So-
I've been up here for a couple of weeks working on my projects.
Oh,
Roger
okay.
and I
All right.
partnered on, yeah.
Okay.
She's been hanging out of the house. That's how I know what she's been watching.
Right.
There you
Yeah, and by the way, we're going to have my memoir, which has been re-edited, new updates, photographs, a lot of cool, controversial stuff put back into it, ready and up on Kindle and iPad and ebook
Oh,
next
cool.
week.
Are you gonna have like a link to it on
Yeah.
your Facebook?
Yeah, it's
And
going
all
to be
that?
all over T-shirts and stuff.
Okay,
Actually,
good.
if you, I don't know, depending on how many friends you have, it could have already been posted and already gone by the time you
Yeah.
looked at it. I had already put, actually, she's going to be doing her regular book, and she'll personalize the autograph to whoever wins it on eBay.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, cool. But anyway, the ebook is going to be cool. I got to go back in and put stuff back in there I wanted to put in, and
Yeah. When
I'll probably get in all kinds of trouble for
Yeah.
doing it, but
when,
it's
when-
okay.
when the book comes out, like the original, when it came
Right.
out, the original one, there was stuff that was tainted a little bit from what the original excerpts were.
Right.
Was
By
it to make
the
more
editors.
exciting, or just
well,
add a
yeah,
spin
that,
to it?
and just there was just my editor and I, we had a falling out at the very end because I wrote some stuff in the last chapter she didn't want me to write, and
But if it's true and it's your
well,
book,
it was true, but she didn't want me to write it
I mean,
anyway.
well, the thing too, also, if I remember, she and the publishing company had some ties with other people that
Right.
Okay.
would have rubbed the wrong way.
Right.
oh,
And
okay.
they
So,
didn't
so
wanna
they
have-
didn't want
They
your
didn't want to be the
story.
one publishing
Right.
it that
Okay.
caused
Right.
the friction.
Right. And we just cleared up some stuff, just some personal stuff that really, we just said it instead of it being kind of innuendo. We just said some stuff. which it's just going to be so much better.
You're
But
just saying this is how it happened. and
this is
what
it.
went-
This is the real deal. It's not clouded over. This is it. But there's some cool. There's some cool stories in there. I mean, some good lake speed stories,
Oh, cool.
chocolate stories. But there's
Chocolate
some
Mire.
chocolate
Yeah.
Mire stories. It's good stories. It's cool. But anyway, we just it'll be from $9.99 on Kindle and iBook, and you can also just download it as an email. We can just email it to you. So
Yeah, it's going to be all
Looking
sorts
forward
of
to
ways
that.
to
Yeah.
get it. Yeah.
yeah,
The book is already out there.
yeah.
You
It's
can-
easy
you
to read.
can-
You just like
You
log
can
on
snag
and
it
get
at Amazon.com, but
Yeah.
then you're just getting a straight regular book
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
regular price. And with us, it's you're getting it a little bit less, but you're also getting it personalized through eBay.
Right.
Right.
It's cool, fun, and it's like more books and downloads you get, the more I get to race.
There you go. Sponsorship.
Yeah,
Plug it.
exactly.
So I'm going to get the collection going from the two of you.
Oh, most definitely. And I'll be on my Facebook
Roger's
telling
my
people
PR
about it.
Okay. Anyway, we
You,
just
know,
want
you
to throw that
get
out
the
there.
discount price too. By the way.
Right. Cool.
You
You
got
get to
enough
go to
books?
Ruby Tuesday to eat too.
You'll probably go to the
Pizza joint
pizza
tonight.
joint.
Cool. Anyway, we've been got off on a tangent there, but
Really?
So, Mr. West, what's on your schedule? When are you gonna play Richard Petty and
After Thanksgiving,
after Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
So you got
Cool.
we'll break on the holidays, spend with the family.
been off now about 2 weeks. I'm enjoying it too.
there you go.
Good.
He's been
Absolutely.
bad. I keep telling him he's supposed to let me know when he's going and when he has projects, so I can put it on his Facebook.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
nobody,
Yeah.
you know, you don't
Sometime-
update your Facebook.
Sometimes though, they'll take a call up a day or two, ahead of time,
Yeah.
So
Doesn't
you
matter.
can hear,
Right.
Doesn't matter. All you gotta do is say, "Hey Roger, I'm going here on such and
Yep.
such day," and it takes 15-30 seconds to put that on your Facebook page.
Yep.
All right.
Absolutely.
And anybody that's following you, it'll pop up on there.
'Cause you got quite a bit of friends. You know, on your Facebook.
Do
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
I haven't seen it in a long, long time.
See, he doesn't go on there.
He doesn't go
He's
on
not a
there.
tech. He's not a techie.
It's
guy.
like
He's
like
good.
the real Richard. He doesn't go on there.
No,
he don't touch
doesn't
it.
do
No.
Once in a while I get. I did see that video you made for me
Yeah.
on
Right.
YouTube.
It's good too.
Yeah.
It's good. Well, we'll do some PR stuff this spring.
Sure.
We'll do some fun stuff. We'll go blow some people's minds.
'Cause
Yeah.
you go
Sure
to
do
some
that.
car shows locally. You do car shows
I do
around here?
mostly all trade shows.
Yeah.
Did I do what they call the in-house trade show?
Yeah.
Regular trade show.
Right. Exactly.
In-house trade shows for employees only,
Okay.
so they can see what their companies,
So like Ferguson's would hire you for all
Yeah.
their employees to come out. You know.
Especially when Ferguson was sponsoring one of the Petties.
Right.
Yeah.
I got a friend in L.A. His name is Stuart Rigby. He's from London, but he looks just like Tom Cruise, and he does what you do. He travels all over the world and does Tom Cruise stuff. We should hook the two of you up together to do a PR
Days of
event.
Thunder
Days
reunion.
of Thunder.
Oh yeah.
People would freak out.
That'd
He's
be
got
cool.
he's got the colorful driving uniform, the whole thing he does sometimes.
Oh,
And he
cool.
looks just like him. He's taller,
Yeah.
but he looks just like him. It's quite amazing. When you go out with him, it's like people are just like, "Is that Tom Cruise over there?"
Yeah.
It's like, "Yeah, that's it. I'm the Tom
Oh,
Cruise."
I can honestly tell you, we go out and go to different places. We one of the first times we were together, we did a radio show.
Right.
Okay, and well, it was still video, but we broadcast on audio and we played it video on the internet. And we went to a pizza place down over near the radio station, and this poor one guy was over in the corner, and it was really slow. It wasn't hardly anybody in there.
Right.
And this one guy just kept sitting there and looking.
I remember that. Kept on staring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Staring at you.
Finally, he came over and said, "I hate to interrupt
Yeah.
your supper, but can I get your autograph?"
I remember that.
Please,
Yeah.
please, please, please.
Yeah.
I love it.
But you know what?
Amazing.
I always work with like 2 or 3 other impersonators.
Right.
Like
Right.
Tiger Woods. I did a lot of jobs.
Right. Right.
And I never work all by myself. But we are, a
Have a
part.
booker. Yeah. have a-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause they could be working for a different company.
Absolutely.
And just have a lot of fun. Don't
Oh,
normally,
yeah.
don't normally work maybe like 4 or 5 hours a day.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
I was telling Jim Saturday night that I did my biggest show of my life, Richard Petty, in Toronto, Canada. I had,
One a couple of months ago.
yeah, I had
Yeah.
7,000 people there.
Unbelievable.
Just for me.
That's amazing.
7,000.
Now that's pretty incredible.
That's
What's that Kenny Chesney song? Now you know how the king feels.
Feels exactly.
Now you know how Richard Petty feels.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Roger, they had the, I mean, they a great big huge room, boy. I mean, a big room. They had a whole. They specially painted the floor just for me in checkerboard.
Huh.
You know, that was. I'm telling
That's
you,
amazing.
that was really good.
I hope they paid you well.
They did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, there was enough fun trying to get everything back and forth, get the all the other the passports, all the other stuff squared away. I remember all
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We have a question, and basically, what can Darian do to help Tony Stewart next year? You got to get him out of the slump.
You know, I've
Tony's
actually been
won some
thinking about
races,
that.
which is
Yeah,
still
yeah.
a positive considering. Look how many people
just
last year coming in. He ain't gonna do squat, and
Right.
look, he's in the he won races.
right.
This year he's in the chase and won races.
Why do you always? Why do they
Ryan
always
has won
think?
races?
Why do they think that a driver who's usually consistently top 10 and he falls out? Oh, he's in
Yeah.
a big slump.
Sure.
There's drivers out
Right.
there who would love to be in a big slump, having all the top
Yeah.
10s.
Our top 20.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think the expectations. I think fans really kind of fall into that trap. Of when, like Jeff Gordon, for instance.
Yeah.
Jeff Gordon, even though he hasn't won a race in
a little while,
a year and a half or a year, however.
You're
Look, he's had his career still at the very top level.
Yeah.
And without those two crashes in the chase, he'd be third or fourth in points.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things.
The only thing with
He
Tony,
just having a bad time. Huh?
coming
Right.
back to the question, the biggest thing is right now, Tony, to minimize expenses, of course, is getting stuff built by Hendricks.
Of course, motors
Okay.
and chassis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, not to say anything bad about that, but I doubt you'll ever see anybody put the A prime
Of course not.
stuff
Right.
into a competitor's car.
Right.
Of course not.
So they have to also get themselves a little bit of an R&D development team
Right.
to work on what comes from Hendricks to kick it up a little notch.
Absolutely.
As Emerald would say.
Absolutely.
That's true.
Hey.
And that's what Darian has to get together with the guys, and somewhere find that money to do it. Right now they're doing good with what they're doing with money. They're not hurting
Right.
as much as a lot of the other teams
I think
are.
I think testing coming up will help too, as far
Sure.
as the December test at Daytona,
Sure.
and then the preseason test in January that they've started.
Well, if you also remember too, that was the biggest thing. Tony and them came up, started a brand new team, and at that point that year, nobody was allowed to do testing anymore.
Right.
He went in cold turkey with different set of cars, different type of cars, different people, different everything.
But he took
Right.
a lot of quality people from
Sure.
Hendricks and from other
He did.
teams.
Right,
If you look at it, he could be considered a satellite team for Hendrick.
right. But then he left the comfort zone of Zipadelli and Gibbs, and came out and did everything and had to put everything together new, and not really get as much into the competition phase and much into practice and getting
Right.
used to
Got it.
everybody. And
2007.
they're doing excellent
Yeah.
for what they have
Oh,
to throw
exactly.
together.
Of course. I mean, Haas wasn't
I'm on
the greatest team,
I'll
Really?
taking checker
I mean,
flags and
we'll
all
look up
when,
the-
Haas was what?
Okay.
Back
We'll do
30s?
some stuff.
yeah. He was mid-30s, high 20s
Came in,
sometimes is a
yeah.
great year for him. So
This year.
to have Tony come up with the
2010,
sponsorship,
yeah.
the money, and
George
everything,
Bush beat me.
no, it didn't hurt, to have Hendrick Motors and Chassis,
Go
but I'm
Right.
sure he's paying a pretty penny for that as
Yeah,
well.
we'll
Oh,
do
yeah.
some stuff.
Okay.
I got some stuff in New York coming up in February. Anyway, we're chatting over here, so we're making a deal. So, cool. Well, so actually there's a question on here about revisit the points in the chase. Will Danica have a better year, or will other ladies show her up?
Well, if we had Kyle Petty on here,
I know.
and
You can be Kyle.
Yeah, I don't have my ponytail. I did
You're
dress
Kyle?
up as Kyle Petty and with a ponytail and everything like that for Halloween.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I
Did
did.
you really?
Yeah, I did.
Danica is still receiving high intensity visitation by everybody. Behind the scenes, they're not happy with it.
Not at all.
But because the GoDaddy and the guys are paying for
Yeah.
this
Of
and
course.
putting a lot of commercials on there, yeah, they're going to get
Go Daddy.
good airtime.
Yeah.
I mean, when was the last time you saw anybody, 41 laps into a race and to be have only completed 37 laps? You're already 4 laps down, and you're getting airtime.
Yep.
Excuse me, I haven't seen Jeff Gordon get even airtime when he's 4
Right.
laps down.
Right.
You might be lucky. You say, "Oh, yeah,
Normally
they just
you
went
don't.
by Jeff Gordon again." You
Yeah.
know, and that'd be
or,
all you
or if
hear.
they're in the garage.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
But-
it's a catch-22.
Yeah.
It's a catch-22
Exactly. Yeah.
because obviously the networks, NASCAR, they want the media exposure. They want that
Right.
exposure, and it's being bought to a certain degree because of the sponsorships
Yeah.
that are being bought in the networks, bought at the racetrack. So, but it also kind of tarnishes the whole deal because everybody kind of knows that.
Right. Of course.
And it's a real problem. I was actually talking to a friend of mine who does stats for the networks. He's the one who feeds the online stuff to them we talk about. And behind the scenes, it is a problem. There is a problem there. But I was telling him about Danica that some little high school girls that I know at a coffee shop, and we were just talking about racing, and they didn't really know anything about it. But the first thing out of their mouth said, "Oh, we love Danica. She wins all the time."
Well, if you count the Indy
Well,
one race,
right?
all that time she won.
Right. But her marketing and her PR in their
Yes.
brain
Oh, of course.
generated the fact that she was winning all the time.
Well, I mean, someone on the chat board said that Kyle says, and he does, that she's a marketing tool, and they're
Right.
marketing her very well.
Sure,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
And they're bringing money. I mean, you get
Absolutely.
GoDaddy commercials all the
Sure.
time, and or
Sure.
Pete commercials, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Go Daddy. They don't want that.
Well, they need to start up another one, Go Mama.
Hey, that's a great Roger.
Yeah, like I got the resources.
Go Roger.
Go Roger. Absolutely. But yeah, I think it's one of those catch-22s. It's
Exactly.
The positives is that it does generate media exposure. The negatives are that it overshadows other people,
Right.
and then it also taints it a bit because people are starting to catch on
Yeah.
to the fact of it.
Well, I mean, I think because a woman in the sport, and you can
Absolutely.
attest, is going to get more. It's the
Absolutely.
magnifying glass is on you
Absolutely.
both ways.
Absolutely.
It's you don't do good. Why are you in the car?
Right.
But then when you do pretty well, then she's taking away stuff from
Right.
the other teams.
Right.
I mean, it was.
Exactly.
Well,
Tammy Jo Kurt was the same way,
Right.
and in the trucks when they first started with Jeff Bodine, and basically
how
a lot
did
of
Jennifer do when she did her nationwide race?
She crashed. But
Did she?
but it was just a situation that happened to her
Yeah.
at Daytona. But Jennifer Jo Cobb was not getting the same type of media exposure that Danica was getting
Of
by
course.
being in the event.
I think Junior Motorsports had a lot to do with that.
Absolutely.
and-
Oh, yeah.
And carry
Absolutely.
negotiating
It's
a
who you
deal.
are in your back pocket.
Right,
Right.
exactly.
Now, like I'm gonna put a comparison out there. At the beginning of the year, Danica got out there, ran a couple of nationwide races. Then, to keep the number active and some
Right.
points going,
Right.
they were putting other drivers in the car.
Sure.
To keep the car and the owner's points up. there.
Right.
Right.
And my goodness, they did awful good. Most of the guys that got in the
Right.
car,
Mhm.
Right.
comparative because of the same equipment.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Jennifer Jo Cobb, she got TV time during that race at Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
She was playing that girl Ginger or
She
something.
was.
Yeah. So
yeah.
she got a little bit of TV time
Sure.
there. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And she's a pretty girl.
yeah,
She is a pretty girl.
Jennifer-
See,
Jennifer's a nice
that
girl,
counts
too.
for something.
yeah.
Huh?
She's
That
got
does
a,
count.
Oh, yeah.
she's got a good personality. She's
Right.
very outspoken, talking to people.
Right.
She has no problems with that. So she's a good.
Right. And there's other girls, Caitlin Shaw, Katie Hager.
Yeah, there's a lot
All
of
these girls are
younger
going to
girls
come up,
coming in.
and these girls are cute, they're smart, and they are technically savvy too. Even Candace Muncie, Candace works on her own race cars. She gets up there and gets those fingernails greasy, and she knows the whole gig, and so does Katie Hager. There's a lot of girls coming up that if they can get that one sponsorship program put
Yeah.
into play, then
They're
they're going to
getting,
rocket ship right to the front.
they're
Yeah.
getting the grassroots
Right.
education of the race car that
Right.
they need to be able to say, hey, the car's not doing this, we need to do this, and not say, hey, this is what I'm feeling. What do you think?
Yeah,
we
the
need
Tom
to do?
Cruise
Yeah.
Days of Thunder deal.
They
Push?
Thunder. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Loose wood. I don't know what those are.
Right.
What about Travis coming into the NASCAR scene?
That is going to be the most amazing adventure in the history of NASCAR.
You know, there's a
He's
lot
either
of
going
who's
to
that
crash and burn, or he's going to do fine. It's
Yeah.
going to be. It's not going to be any middle ground
Was
with
he
him.
with
Pastorana or Pastorana?
Yeah,
How's
Pastrana.
Pastrana? Yeah, there you
Michael
go.
Waltrip Racing,
Yeah.
doing their own
Right.
team. I forget what the girl's name that's the team owner of that.
Yeah.
She's on my Facebook somewhere.
Bechtel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he's just doing what, 7 races.
7 races, but
Yeah.
later on in the year,
Yeah.
they're going to test him and get him up to speed.
There's another guy come in, Eddie Sharp,
Eddie Sharp.
in
Yep.
the truck. Yeah.
Hey.
Eddie Sharp's been around ARCA for a long time.
Yeah, he's got a young guy coming up from Arca.
Yeah.
You know, Travis did really well at Eldora this year, according to
Right.
the people at the
He
Post.
did. He did. You
That
know,
must be some of Tony Smoky's people.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
It
Char's
is-
the
it is-
one
it is.
shooting
It is.
the stuffs.
Karen and Karen.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Smith
people
and-
that do good
Hey,
work
Karen.
putting that Tony Smoky's together. There's several girls that are
Yep.
working it.
Karen Smith.
Hello, Karen.
Charlie said hi, Karen. Karen is she's the biggest Tony Stewart fan in the entire universe.
Does Tony know this?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But and Karen's cool. She's
And I'm
cool.
sure
She's
Richard paid
cool.
a second, right?
Yeah, she's cool. She's cool. But hi to all the Tony Smokies out there. It's all good.
You guys are doing a good job keeping his name up there.
That's right. That's right.
And your driver of the week, that's a pretty fun thing too.
Right. Michael Waltrip was on Wind Tunnel the other night talking about Travis,
Mhm.
and they're going to just take him. It's going to be Tuesdays with Travis at the racetrack. They're
Oh,
going to
cool.
go just test, and run, and because that's what it takes. For someone who has no experience, that's what they should have been doing with Danica.
Of course. The good thing about Danica, though, that I and a lot of friends of mine, one of my friends was that she.
Look, Karen,
Okay. Get Tony. Come on in, Tony.
get in here.
Hold on.
So anyway, what Danica did was she just didn't go out. She asked a lot of questions
Right.
about what's the car supposed to feel like, how am I supposed to do this, so that was good on her part. Instead of just going, hey, I'm an IndyCar driver, I won one race, I can do this.
Right.
Okay, is that what you guys wanted?
How's that?
They get
Here, I'll hold his little head up. Hey, honey, how are you? I'm good. It's good. Anyway, that's pretty funny. Maybe we can bend it like that instead. There you go. But yeah, it's gonna be. I think the Travis Pastrana thing is gonna be. I think it's gonna be really incredible for NASCAR or racing in general because he has that young demo that he brings into it, that whole MTV demographic, and that's one of the things that's been lacking in the NASCAR promotional
Right.
scene anyway. So he's going to be fun. His mouth's going to be running all the time. He and Michael Waltrip, I'm sure, are going to do some great commercials. So it'll be okay. We're going to have to fix that.
So I got a question.
Sure.
Basically, how do you feel about NASCAR having official NASCAR sponsor, versus
Right.
them being a sponsor on a car? I feel, and a lot of friends feel that if you want to be the official, Victory Lane sponsor of NASCAR, you need to put that on a car.
Right.
You can be the official. I don't want to pull plugs or anything for any official sponsor, but if you want to really be the official sponsor, put it on a car. We can say you're the official sponsor of, Turn 3,
Sure.
but put it on a car.
Right.
That would help out a lot of teams who are looking for sponsors, because you get a car that had Gatorade on it. Well, Gatorade says, I'm going to take my $6 million or whatever, or $12 million from team number whatever, and now I'm going to be an official sponsor.
Yeah.
And it's, it takes money and stuff away from the teams.
Right.
Yeah. The thing they're
But it's
looking
all
at,
about
of course,
NASCAR money.
It's all how much exposure you're going to get, and that's
Right.
what they're looking for, unfortunately. And they're one of the briquettes companies, barbecue briquette comes. They were on a nationwide car,
Sure.
and I got to be privy. I was sitting beside the guys as they were coming into Richmond, and they were fussing and everything because NASCAR had gone and courted them.
Of course, it's
And basically,
Right.
at the end of that year, they were out of there and were going to be the national NASCAR cricket
Sure.
yeah.
sponsor.
Right. You know, and that's one of the
Be like
things,
that.
the controversy, one of the controversial aspects of the Jeremy Mayfield relationship with NASCAR, according to Jeremy's lawyers, PR people, was they were both vying for a sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy got the sponsor, and it
That
ticked
energy drink
right.
when
It
he
ticked
first started.
NASCAR off. Da 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 da. But that whole situation with NASCAR going after the same sponsors
Mm-hmm.
that team, that's been a you know, a point of contingency between all of these race teams and marketing people, because they are both, you know, knocking on that same door.
You know, and
It's
I
a problem.
understand.
NASCAR gets enough money. They get
Exactly.
money from the tracks.
I agree.
Right.
Anytime any NASCAR sanctioned track has to pay a yearly fee.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay, they get money from all the NASCAR royalties. I mean, how rich does Rich want to be?
You're never satisfied though.
Well, that's right.
And I know I brought up the subject on one side, but I could jump back to the other side.
Sure.
Is you're never rich. You never have enough money. You know what I'm saying? In business,
I've got
if
32
you,
Right.
jets, and I can go anywhere I want in the world.
I mean, if you're a
What else can I
business
get?
and you made a $5 million profit one year,
Right.
the next year you want to make $6.
Right. It's that
You don't
corporate
want to make
philosophy.
5 or you
Right.
don't want to make 4
Right.
because you feel like you've lost money, even though you're
Sure.
still in positive.
Sure, absolutely. It's that corporate philosophy. You know, it's inbred into the corporate world, and people think that.
You know,
But-
I just think
yeah.
of it as from the racer point of view, or
Right.
from the fan point of view.
Sure.
You know that, wow, you know my driver had this sponsor on his car
Right.
and it was great. He pulled out just to be, you know, put a little can or a little sign on top of the car at the end of the race.
Sure,
You
sure.
know, versus being around the track.
absolutely.
Remember that the one year when it got to be, if it was a Pepsi race and you were a Coke driver,
And you
went
knocked
knock it off.
knocked the
did,
sign
knock it
off.
off,
I
yeah.
agree.
It went off.
I agree. I'm a Coke driver. No, not really good. I'm a Coke fan. So Pepsi can,
Oh yeah, they put a little stop to that deal.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
because you were hurting NASCAR.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
Pepsi complained to NASCAR or Coke or whichever
Sure.
the case may be, or Gatorade.
You know,
You know,
it is a business. You know, when you get to this level, it's a business. It's no
mean-
longer
Because when you do your hat routine,
right.
yeah, the old days when you had the hat dance with
Exactly.
what was that guy, Broderick? Oh man,
I mean, you're going to put their hat on anyway.
yeah, exactly.
Karen says she wants the stand up of Tony.
Tony's a little limp and lifeless on top. So
Karen,
I don't know
you
if
have
you
to
really
come
want him or
to,
not.
you have to come to Hampton, Virginia, to get this.
Who said I'm going to give it away?
See?
Okay,
She-
okay.
I have that one and I have a Kyle.
Oh.
I've got
okay.
5 or 6 Kyle ones at my house, and just
And I'm trying to remember all the Coke
Yep,
from
Coke
the Coke
drivers.
machines. I've got all of those, the original,
Oh, really?
brand new plastic for the full size machine.
So you got one of the
Amazing.
Earnhardt ones that didn't quite go out.
I believe I got that one too.
Cool.
Got them all stored away. I'll show you later the smaller ones I have back here in the back.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And I believe I have a Tony one. So,
Yay.
I don't have a Joey Logano one.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've got, Terry will tell you, if you walk into my house, I don't know if you've ever actually gone upstairs.
Yeah, I've been upstairs.
And you see all the NASCAR stuff
Oh
up
yeah,
there.
it's crazy.
And that's only maybe 1/100th of what I have. Everything else got boxed up because we moved to a smaller house.
You didn't never show me, Roger. As many times been.
What you got there, Charles?
Well, all you gotta do is say, hey, let me see some of this stuff.
What you got there, buddy?
All you gotta do is go back into
There you go.
Dave's computer room.
Okay.
Just
I
see
agree.
Tony Stewart's piston on
Got
the
it.
wall and parts of his
Oh, yeah.
car and all sorts of stuff.
So everyone on there knows it says Richard Petty number 43. So
It's Charles's press
it's
kit.
Charles's press kit. He's got a card. He has this, you know, little deal, the TV guide thing.
RichardPettyLookalike.com is the website.
Number 1 in the world
It's
by the
it.
Impersonator Association.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
And,
We got to go to Las
and if-
Vegas and do
and
something.
if Cox
together.
ever
We
gets
got
this
to do
stuff
it.
squared away, you'll be able to see the website.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, Mr. West does have a Facebook as well if you guys want to check that out.
Yep.
Charlie West.
What is the Facebook, Roger?
It's Charles West.
No.
No, Richard Petty Lookalike.
No.
Facebook.com
No.
/ Richard Petty Lookalike.
Uh-uh.
Or you
Sure.
The King?
All right, old
The
Uh,
King at Richard Petty. Look like.
No, that's your
Huh?
That's
your
email.
sign in.
That's your sign in.
Okay. I told you I haven't been there. For a
Don't
long
give your
time.
password, okay?
That is, yeah,
Tony's grinning over there behind the shoulder. He's like, "Give me the password. Give me the
Yeah.
password."
he totally does.
And we just went off air. No signal.
No,
Okay.
that's called screensaver. We went past the hour I have set for screensaver.
Oh, okay.
Good deal.
All right.
So the Facebook called what, Roger? Is Richard?
Should be facebook.com/Richard Petty lookalike.
Okay.
Okay.
All you gotta do is look up Richard Petty lookalike on Facebook or the King Richard Petty. They'll find you by the search.
And we'll try and get more updates for Mr. Charlie.
If he gets
Absolutely.
up.
If he tells us where he's going to be, then we'll
Right.
put it on his Facebook. And
Come into our area.
Thank goodness Terry knows Facebook. She can keep everybody updated.
Oh yeah,
It was sort of a semi-secret you were coming up here
kinda.
because you want to get up here and get away from a lot of stuff and
Right.
get really into working on stuff.
Yeah.
Last night I think she got an hour's sleep.
Yeah, about.
So-
Staying at Roger.
I'm staying in Rogers. Yeah.
So what?
He's
Give
got
us
a
a
wonderful
good.
wife, don't he?
Yeah.
Faith. Yeah.
I love her.
Give us a good lake speed story.
Oh, great.
Just pull one out of the top of your.
Well,
out of,
we'll do a go kart racing lake speed story because I was Lake's little protege from Mississippi and
Okay.
we race go karts, and it's really kind of a story about all of us. We were in, this is back in the late 70s, first 80s, right after he won his world championship over in Portugal. But we're in Barnesville, Georgia at the Winter Nationals, and racing down there, and it was cold, and I've been racing, and somebody run over me on the racetrack, and I was pretty pissed off about it. I was ticked off about it. I was kicking and cussing and screaming, and when we got into the weigh-in scales, Lake knew that I was ticked off, and he come over there and he's trying to calm me down, and he just grabbed me by the back of my neck and kind of jerked me out of the way and calmed me down. But in the meantime, the motocross races were in Atlanta, back up in Atlanta. So we all just hightailed at Lake and his first wife, Aurora. That's a great name, isn't it? And I and Kyle Atkins. And for all the go-kart racers in the world, Kyle Atkins was one of the top racers too. And we took off up to Atlanta, and we were all piled up in that green van he always had. And I was sitting in the back of the go-kart where they were all riding. And we just went and had a great time at the motocross races. And I was in the middle of a divorce at the time too, so they were just chewing on me about, you gotta get a divorce. You don't have to be married. It's just crazy. But I have a lot of lake speed stories like that. But we used to run this one go-kart race in Columbus, Mississippi. It was a 100-mile go-kart race. It was an endurance race like the 24 Hours of Le Mans. It's the same thing. You run all the classes run together, and so you'd have like dual engine go-karts running 130 miles per hour, and then stock go-karts running 50 miles per hour.
right.
So there was always something crazy going on, people running over, and there's a lot of great lake speed stories about wrecking and having fun and that kind of stuff. But I can't tell some of these stories on air about Lake because he was shooting me.
Okay.
But you can read about them in the book.
But you can read about it in my book, chapter 2, 3, 4, 5, and on into 24. But Lake and his wife, Risa, are just the greatest people on earth. I mean, they're just salt of the earth, human beings, love them to death, and you couldn't ask for anybody to be better. So, but Lake was in his early days, he was something else, as we all were, including you.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm sure you know a lot about Richard Petty.
I know a little bit about Richard Petty. And Kyle. Yep.
We know a little bit about a lot of them.
Yeah. Richard was kind of, when I did my cup race in Rockingham, he kind of took me under his wing and consoled me and kept me calm. Stay low. Stay out of the way.
Out of my way.
You stay out of the way. Stay low. You're okay. But yeah, it's one of those things. But he's a good guy. He's a good guy. But you look so much like him. It's just you have the same mannerisms and everything that he has. It's really very uncanny. Are you sure you're not Richard Petty?
I'm positive.
Okay.
I've had people ask me,
Right.
well, where do I get my plastic surgery done and so forth. So,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, we've had him out of the track, and
I love
everybody
it.
would come over, and oh my God, you know,
I love it.
yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I work at a place on Saturdays, and Charlie was there, and I'm like, "What's the king doing here on a
Right.
Saturday night?"
Right.
You know.
Right.
So,
oh, did you?
Yeah, and the
Right.
first time I ever saw you.
Let's
I'm
see that.
shooting.
See that front finger there. See how it's long as his is.
Huh?
Let's see your
See- see-
finger.
look-
Well, he's got some big hands, don't
He's
he?
got
Yeah,
some- he's
that's
got
that
some
long.
long
Those fingers are
fingers.
about that long. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Darrell Waltrip even said the King's come up to him and he said, you knew you were in trouble
Right.
when he got that finger and started pointing it in your
Oh
chest.
yeah.
I was in Vegas at car race. Richard was there one night. He had his hand laid up there, and I was licking his finger, and then I'm looking at mine, and I said, "Damn, something wrong here."
Yeah.
You need,
I know.
you need to go to Party City or get
Right.
get one of those extra long finger gloves or something. Yeah, Bert, what was it? Oh, when the last Richmond race came, we were trying to get him to go with us.
Oh, really?
Yes, we were
Oh,
going to
yeah.
go out there and just walk
Because there's
around.
that one Dale Earnhardt guy who goes around, walks around the stands dressed as a senior.
I know him.
There's also a guy
Do ya? Yeah.
who's junior who
Yeah.
walks around with the old junior uniform on. They walk together sometimes.
Cool. Fun stuff.
Well, what do you got for everybody, Terry? You got some stuff because not everybody was watching last week, and
No, I got nothing.
I know better.
No, we just got, everybody, if they didn't see the show or hadn't been keeping up with my Facebook, working on a American Le Mans sports car team. Dick Barber Racing, running through his program. We kind of partner up. It's going to be an all-female driving team, and go for the championship, which is going to be historic. To
Yep.
do that,
Mhm.
and but more than that, actually, is actually being hooked up with Dick, who's won Le Mans 3 times. He's
Mhm.
won Sebring and Daytona. He's won all the races, and he just really puts a nice product on the racetrack, and he's committed to doing this, and so we're going to give it a shot. We're still working on sponsorship stuff and negotiating with sponsors, and just keeping our fingers crossed that it all comes together, because it's really going to be really cool to do that and have the opportunity to go run some
That'd
really,
be
really
nice.
fast race cars.
That'll
We're
be
gonna
cool.
do the LMPC class, which is kind of a controlled class that you have to run the Corvette engines,
Mhm.
but it's the prototype cars. It kind of keeps the engine cost down. But we got Captain Legg from over in the UK going to come in and co-drive with me, and we're going to get Katie Hager and Candace Munstein to into the development end of it, and plug them into a few races too, co-driving in the longer races. So we're really excited about it, and so we're just keeping our fingers crossed.
Cool.
Keep it rocking, and maybe do some ARCA races and stuff. But we're really going to try to serve one master in the
Right.
beginning, and I'd like to do Indy at some point, and maybe do Indy in 212, and do that. Maybe with Catherine too, because she's an IndyCar driver
Okay.
from back in the day, and so maybe do a 2-girl IndyCar team in 2012. So we'll see.
That would be cool to see. So
We just
stay
need
tuned
somebody to
for
write
it.
write us a check. We're good to go.
Yeah.
You got some money? We'll put it right on the side of the race car, Charles.
I need millions of dollars.
That's right.
She didn't say how
Right,
much. She
right,
just said you
right.
write a check.
Right, and we're going to work with the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation as well. On every event, we're going to have their logo on the car and do fundraising events those weekends, and try to really do a really high-profile
Mhm.
marketing program for it. So we'll have some fun, have everybody out and
Cool.
do. And one thing that we're wanting to do, and we're really kind of in the planning stages, is to also do a live internet show every weekend, the 10 weekends that we do the races, like we do here, or like trackside on Speed,
Mhm.
but do
Yeah.
a show with with all the girls and kind of thing, and just have some fun with it and broadcast it live on,
Well, that would be
on the
cool.
internet. It'd be fun
That'd
to
be
do.
nice, yeah.
So Roger and I were kind of working on trying to get that
Worked out.
worked out. It's really not. It is difficult to do, but it's not rocket science. I think we can pull it off.
Right.
Cool. So it'd be fun.
That'd be great.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Get to run about 230 miles per hour down the back straightaway somewhere. It'd be fun to do.
Mm.
Yeah, we'll see.
That would be
Some
great.
of my old cars I wish I still have because I could.
Oh, of course.
I had a 1970 Plymouth GTX high performance 440 speedometer went up to 260.
Mm-hmm.
I personally think it's 170.
Bye, Karen.
Anyway,
Yeah,
let's
Karen,
go ahead and wrap this up so we can have fun.
Can I do a plug for Victory Junction Camp?
Absolutely.
Yeah, December 12th, there's going to be a 5K run for the Victory Junction Camp.
Wow.
So I'll be participating. Last year it was a 5 mile and I about died. So I think it's because I died, they decided to lower it
Right.
down to a 5K or 3 miles.
Right.
So December 12th,
Where's
Victory
that at?
Junction, victoryjunction.org.
Yeah.
Yep, it's Run for Victory. It's a good thing. And if Kyle was here, he'd be telling you all about it as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll post that on my Facebook.
Yep,
We'll
I'll
put that up there. Send me a link on that.
I'll send you a link. I'll send you a donation page where I'm taking donations.
Absolutely.
For it. It takes $2,500 to send one child to camp.
Right. Yeah.
So
Right.
it's
Right.
and
Cool.
they're also working on a Midwest camp as well. Midwest camp in Kansas City.
Yeah,
They're
the
doing.
Kansas
Right.
City one. Have they got that finally all the way opened up? I know the last
No,
time I talked to Kyle, we're still working on it.
2000. I believe it's 2013 is scheduled. They're having some land issues with
Yeah.
it.
2013,
Really
yeah.
can't go into that. But
Yeah.
they're having some land issues with that. As far as procuring the land, it was
Right.
donated, but then I don't know if it's what the exact deal is.
Indian givers.
I don't think the Indians had anything to do with
No,
it,
I
but
mean, the Indian giver was,
Exactly.
he gave it to him,
Exactly.
and
I
I
got
want
you.
it back.
Well, America's
Exactly.
done that a lot.
Yeah. Oh,
But thank you for letting me do that little plug.
no biggie, no biggie.
I think it is
Well,
2013. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've known Adam, I've known Kyle, I've known the whole family, pretty much, mostly on the racing guy side. But my father used to race against Richard and me. So. But anywho, all right, let's go ahead and roll this up, everybody. We'd like to thank you for spending your last hour and 15 minutes, plus or minus, depending on when you got to start watching, courtesy of our local broadband bozos. Anyway, everybody have a good night, and we'll talk to you next weekend. Next week, excuse me. Jeez, I'm tired.
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, next week.
There you go.
Don't forget, December the 8th at NASCAR Sports
Cafe.
Grill.
Yep.
Don't forget also, if you're local in our area, go to the Moonstar Restaurant, downtown Hampton. Mention that you heard about it at Let's Talk Racing, and you get 10% off your meal.
Yeah.
And they have good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, we'll see you there. See ya!
Peace out. Yay.